Welcome to the North Central PA comic book column. This is your comic book column for February, March. We'll call it Farch, if you will. I guess we're going to start off. I feel like 2022 is making up for 2021. We've had an amazing start of things that we got to go over. The Super Bowl was amazing. It really was just probably one of the best Super Bowls ever played, in my opinion. Without going too much into football, we'll go back into comic books and entertainment. So, what happened in the beginning of this year? Saga is back. We talked about this. We're going to go a deeper dive here in a little bit, but other things that have happened, Something's Killing the Children returns. It's not returned yet, but it's going to be returned. Horizon Forbidden West is out in the wild, and the long-awaited debut of Elden Ring is out. It's in the wild. We can play it. It's awesome. Go try it out. Now, getting into our column stuff, Saga is 100% back. I think we touched a little bit on it last week, but what makes this comic so good, and this is the second issue that we're not going to touch much on, but what makes this comic book so good is how believable the characters are, how it reads, the artwork in it that I'm showing you right here. What's amazing is this comic book took a 3-year hiatus and was non-existent, and there were only 54 issues that you ever got to read, and it came back, and I swear it has not missed a single beat. All the characters are the same. The artwork's the same, the dialogue's the same. Obviously Marco's not in it, but Elena's here, Hazel's here, and these characters are so deep, and it's such a unique story. And one other thing I did want to point out that I think is really cool is, in the age of variant covers, this is it. This was the single issue that released. There's no different covers. It was $2.99, and even the author went in to encourage readers, beat the crap out of this thing. Take it with you. I take it with me everywhere I go. It's been in my backpack since I picked it up from the comic book shop. But this comic right here is doing something that hasn't been done in this industry in a while, and it's taking every aspect of reading a comic book and making it something important, from storytelling to dialogue to artwork to the way the panels work and flow across the pages. It just is a really cool experience, and I highly recommend this for anybody who is a fan of good storytelling, not just comic books, just anybody who's a fan of good storytelling. All right, this next one. This is a little funnier, I guess. Lighter themes, maybe. Chicken Devil. I told you guys at the last comic book column we were 3 issues in for this, and I felt like it was becoming an origin story. And this is the final edition of the 4-part series. There's going to be more, and it's exactly what it is. Mitch has become the Chicken Devil, and now he is a crime fighter, and he's taking on the Russian mob, and it is as weird and wacky as it sounds, and it is so good. I think one thing that's really cool about this comic book is it's a dialogue-heavy comic book that really makes the characters seem believable. The artwork in it is absolutely beautiful and unique. The pages are very crisp. It's just a well put together comic book and a good overall read. And now that all 4 issues are out, I personally don't see any reason to wait for the trade, but if you want to get all 4 issues, you can go over to the aisle of comics. You know they'll have them there, and you can get through the entire story right here. The last thing we're going to talk about is we got Spawn, we got Aliens. You guys know all that good stuff, but we touched on in the intro that Elden Ring is out, and the thing that was amazing about this is the last few major AAA titles that have been released have been complete flops, and this is a game that actually set out and delivered everything that it said. So I know I'm a From Software fan, and I tell you guys to play the games, but this is definitely one worth checking out. If you do check it out and you create your own character, I just want you to stick with it. It's really, really difficult, but I know it's a good time. Outside of that, if you need any comic books, you know where to find them. Go over to Isle of Comics, and without me talking too much about the comics I want to talk about, I have a special guest that's going to talk about comics that she likes to talk about and why you should read the ones that she's reading and not any of these.
Thanks, Brett, for having me on. I'm Phoebe Freer. I'm usually the one behind the camera for these types of things. But me and Brett talk about comic books at work, of course. And what I've been getting into lately is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I kind of got into the TV series late in my life. But I thought it was really cool, and then they have another series after that, The Legend of Korra, and that's like 50 years after The Last Airbender. Well, this comic book is right in between The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, and I was like flipping out because it's super cool, and the art here, it feels like you're watching the TV show, but it's in a book, so that's pretty cool. And it also, this version, it shows like behind the scenes of the making of this particular comic book, and then different art styles, how they changed the art style slightly, like from the TV show, and just the dimensions a little bit and that kind of thing. So this is pretty much all I've read so far, but I'm definitely going back to Isle of Comics. Oops. I thought this was really cool. And really good, I would say almost like beginner comic book, because I don't read comic books a whole lot, but I'm used to the art in the show, and then it's like very close to that same art. So I just got excited and wanted to share with you all. Thanks, Brett, again for having me on, and I'll give it back to you.
All right, so we covered a lot this month, and like I said, I can't recommend this stuff anymore. It's definitely better than Airbender. But if you guys want any of this stuff, including Airbender, you guys know where to find this stuff. Isle of Comic Books over in South Williamsport. They'll take care of you. They'll get you all hooked up, and go Rams.
Beautiful.
At UPMC, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer, and we're working to prevent it. We're advancing new technology to look more closely at disease and helping you breathe easier. We perform the world's first heart-liver transplant, and we're experts at keeping your heart beating strong. We're a global team of more than 90,000, advancing care everywhere and delivering it closer to you. UPMC, life-changing medicine.